Hello, everyone, and welcome to École Polytechnique's webinar. Thank you for your interest and thank you for joining us. I am Pamela, and I'm in charge of the promotion of the different Masters of Science and Technology programs. And joining me today is Erwan Le Pennec and Vincent Fréteau. So I will let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Erwan Le Pennec. I'm academic head of this program, and I'm from Polytechnique.
I'm Vincent Fréteau. I'm the scientific director of the MSc Data Science for Business for HEC Paris.
Thank you. So as you know, today we're going to present to you École Polytechnique, as well as the MSc&T in Data Science for Business and its admission process. Just for information, we will take all of your questions at the end of the presentation. So do not hesitate to use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen to ask anything related to the presentation. So what are École Polytechnique and HEC Paris? A few key facts about École Polytechnique. For those who don't know, École Polytechnique is the French leading institute in science and technology, based in Palaiseau, which is about 20 kilometers away from Paris, and was created in 1794. We are one of the best world university for students' employability and very proud of that. And we have about 3,600 students coming from all over the world. So about 40% of international students, but also 40% of international teachers. And we offer different undergraduate and graduate programs from the bachelor degree to the PhD. The student life is very important at École Polytechnique. Students can take part in almost 250 associations in cultural, artistic, social, scientific, and sporting activities. And the campus itself offers many services such as banks, a hairdresser, a post office, therapists, but has also many facilities such as a library, a research lab, museum, or even an innovation center. And lots of events are organized throughout the year, professional events, student events, but also cultural events to allow students to make memories, enjoy their time, but also network and be prepared for their future career.
Yeah, as far as HEC Paris is concerned, we are based in Jouy-en-Josas, which is not exactly Paris, but not far from Paris. And to make a long story short, HEC Paris has been ranked #1 European business school by the Financial Times, and this is the case for, it has been the case for quite a long time now. This is a big campus, big international campus with, as for École Polytechnique, a lot of services, a lot of events regarding the student life. There are also something like 200 associations on different, very wide spectrum of different subjects. And the students who are joining HEC are always super happy about this student life, the quality of teaching, the quality of the faculty members, and so far and so on.
So what is this MSc&T? If I want to talk about the ranking, I could start by this. We're ranked #3 worldwide and #1 in Europe in this domain. So this is a Master of Science of Technology, a 2-year program where the goal is to provide you the foundation to be able to work in industry in general after your degree. You will have a multidisciplinary training at Polytechnique during the first year, which is one specificity, that is you will have science and technology courses for sure, but you will also have the possibility to do management and innovation, and you will have humanities, languages, and sports. You're going to have a lot of hands-on for sure during the year, but also through a 4 months internship at the end of the first year. And last but not least, this program taught in English is meant to be close to industry. So you're going to interact a lot with actors of the data domain.
Erwan, if I may, not only industries, but by the way, also services, bank, finance, insurance, and all the tech companies too.
That's what I meant by industry at the wide sense, which is everything but academia. So this program is, I would say, quite specific because it's a joint program between École Polytechnique, an engineer school, an HEC, a business one. And the idea was to train students to be double experts. Experts in terms of technology, science, but also experts in terms of business on application of what they can do. So this is something that will see through the program itself, but this is something which is very important. We want you to be expert in both domains. That is the technological one and the business one, which means that you're going to be experts in both domains. During the first year, you're going to dwell deep into machine learning with a lot of understanding of what is the core of those techniques, or to predict, or to classify, and how to use this in application. There are going to be a lot of programming involved. We're not interested in theory, but in application, so you will need to program. And the key will be to make sure that you will be able to lead data or machine learning oriented project in the real world. That means that for sure you will have to have a theoretical understanding of the statistical algorithm in order to know which one should be applied in which cases. And maybe in the end, that could be the most important. You will also have to understand what are the real challenges in order to pick the best solution in the place you will be in almost 3 years from now if you join the program. Regarding the learning experience, I would say something classical, lectures, a lot of labs, many database case studies, and large internship by the end. So maybe we can look into more details on the program of the first year. So I'm mentioning the first year because this program is a 2-year program. The first year at Polytechnique, strong focus on the scientific foundation of data science. And then you will move to HEC, where you will continue to enhance those knowledge about mass data science per se, but you will also learn much more how to apply the collection of tools that you will have learned during the first year into business, and especially using challenges. So for the first year, on the next slide, as you can see, there will be a lot of science. We will try to give you a broad picture on everything you know to be a data scientist in a company. That is, we will talk about statistics, machine learning, regression. Also focus on optimization and deep learning so that you will have the main tools or theoretical tools of methodology to use data to take better decisions. But we will also cover some aspects which are related to programming, for instance, using Python, to the use of databases, through course of data management, and you will see application of those techniques to real cases through business seminars. One of the core principles of this training program is the fact that you should practice. So this will be done during most of the courses. There will be a project, there will be lab where you're going to work with real data, in order to use what you've seen during the classical lecture. And there will also be, I would say, a long course where there will be a lot of data involved. It is the data camp, in which you're going to spend 6 days during along 6 weeks working on a concrete project in teams of 4, and that's a good experience to learn a lot. So this is for the core scientific course, but because you will be part of Polytechnique, you will have slightly more than this. You will have humanities, languages, and sports. And that I've said, by the end of the academic year, which is mid-March and beginning of April, you will be far away from Polytechnique, doing very interesting internships in very nice companies, at least if you follow the track of your previous colleagues. And in September, you will move to HEC for the second year.
And at HEC, it's very much, there are quite a lot of links from first and second year. There are some core courses with a focus on data engineering, because it's quite important to be good, not only data science, data analysis, but also data engineering, in order to be able to manage, I would say, the technical parts of data science, which is super important, especially if you join a small company. If you want to create your startup, or if you join, even if you join consulting, you need to be, as a data scientist, autonomous in terms of data engineering. So there are also some advanced coding courses in Python for machine learning, some reinforcement learning with some École Polytechnique professor working on data and strategy, data and finance courses, quite a strong possibility to develop data and finance expertise, data and sustainability also with some very interesting project. Last year we had a project regarding autonomous cars, recharging batteries, and so on and so on, and also some more theoretical course on algorithmic fairness, interpretability, or causal inference. There are very interesting parts which are called the business challenges, where companies are coming with their business issue and their data, and the students are working during 2 or 3 weeks in group of 4 or 5 people, full-time on the subject, doing the analysis of the data and building a strong business recommendation. It's very much appreciated. We have been doing that for more than 5 years now. We are doing 3 business challenges now during the year, and it's very intensive and very I would say enjoyable part of the program. Then at the end of at the beginning of the second semester, which is starting in Feb, you have the possibility to choose among 2 different tracks. One track for what we call data manager and or consultant, to join a consulting company or a company into different whatever sectors and whatever the size of the company. And or you can join the data entrepreneur track, which is to choose to join the startup launchpad, which is very famous. You just can type on Google startup launchpad HEC, and you will find that it's a very intensive 9 weeks program to be able to start to develop a startup, and having the possibility after this track to join directly the HEC incubator that is based in Station F in the center of Paris. There are some learning expedition too. We have one in Paris, moving to different companies, and we plan to have one in April to going to London to do the same, to see some institutes, institutions, and companies such as McLaren or different companies working in data. So that's the program of the year 2, very much using everything that has been done during the first year, applying that to some specific business challenges, plus on the top of it, continuing to learn with some courses, but courses that are very much hands-on. And I would say that for almost all the courses, you have to provide a project, you have to do some analysis, you have to work with data and to provide interesting insight based on those data. That's it for the year 2 at HEC.
Sorry, I was on mute. As you can see, the goal is definitely for you to work in companies after this program. The idea is that you will have a dual profile. You will be data scientist, knowledgeable of the technology, but you will also be manager, consultant, entrepreneur, having a knowledge of what you want to do with those tools. And we think that the value that you will yield to the company that you will be in will be created by this mix of scientific and business knowledge. So that's why if you look at what the previous students have been, some of them have built companies, some of them have been working in startups almost from the beginning. Others have joined consulting firms, especially the most technological one. On the other, they've been to various places in big companies mostly. Vincent, do you want to add something?
No, just to say that it's really very wide, as you said, in terms of type of company, sector, country or region of the world, type of job. It's very, what is the beauty of this program is that you really will be able to do almost what you want in terms of career. It's really super motivating.
So who can apply? As you can see, because it's a mix of data science, of math, applied math, and business, you can come from various degrees. For sure, something related to data or mathematics, engineering, in general, business and economics. The most important part will be your will to work with data. There is a second thing that you will need besides English, is the fact that the lectures in the first year, they are quite math oriented. So we want to be sure that you will fit with this point of view. And that's why we ask you to have a strong background in mathematics, which means knowing something about linear algebra, having an idea of what is a function or how you can differentiate it, knowing a little about the optimization, something like that, something which should be classical in the bachelor degree. So regarding the application process, Pamela, do you have testimonies to share?
Feel free to scan the QR code and go on the website to read the different testimonies of alumni. Here are the 3 latest testimonies, but there are others, and it's very important for you and interesting because you will understand why these students chose that program and who they are right now, what they're doing, So it's very interesting for you. So feel free to scan the QR code.
Okay, so regarding the application, this is a joint program with HEC, and the application part is handled by HEC. So even if you can find all the details in Polytechnique website, you will be sent to the HEC one for the application. Regarding the application, as nothing very specific, you have to make an application. Here are all the documents that we require. I would say that nothing is very surprising in the list. A few paper regarding who you are, your degree, and so on. We are going to make a pre-selection, and for the candidates that we think will be good fit for the program, once again, I'm stressing that we want to select students that are good fit with the program, that is with the will to work with data in this business world, and with a sufficient knowledge of math to be able to, let's say, enjoy the training. If we think this is the case, you will be invited for face-to-face or Skype interview, depending on where you are, where we will talk about your motivation, or where you will have to do some small math exam just to check that you are a good fit. So the next round will be in January. There's been one in October. I invite you to candidate to this round if you know that you want. The sooner the better. But in case you're not ready for January, there will be two more, March and April. Just let you know that we have a numerus clausus. There is a maximum number of students in the program. So there may be fewer seats available for the last rounds. Regarding the tuition fees, it's slightly more than 24,000 per year, plus the living expenses. There are scholarships that have been awarded to students. There is a joint commission somehow by HEC and Polytechnique to help you. And as you may know, there are other possibilities on the Campus France website if you want to apply. There was yeah.
Maybe Awan, we should maybe answer to one of the questions from Daniele. I'm not sure we do communicate on the percentage of students that get the scholarships. Definitely, there are some of them. In terms of cost, it depends. It depends on it's, I would say, some thousands of euros, and depending on the academic excellence and the need-based, as Erwan told us, it really depends for every different applicants. So sorry not to be more specific, as again, I'm not sure we are communicating on that, but I would say that money should not be a problem. At least this is what Erwan and I are pushing for, is that the cost of this program should not be a problem for the students that are really motivated, that have demonstrated academic excellence and really want to do this program.
And once again, we have the help from both Polytechnique and HEC side for this. We're doing our best. So I see that there is another question, but let's conclude the presentation part by giving you this contact address. at Polytechnique if you're interested on this QR code that you can scan to reach the MSc&T admission team webpage. Pamela, you want to add something? Yeah.
We have different questions. A person wants to know if only bachelor's degree students are able to enter this MSc&T.
So this is a good question. The program is meant as a continuation of a bachelor. What I mean by that, this is not a program which is meant to be, I don't know, MBA or something after a few years in business. If you are a master in computer science and you are able to explain us why you want to join the program, that would be perfect. I mean, we don't have any restriction regarding the fact that you should have a bachelor and you should not be a professional somehow, because this is not a program which is meant for professional.
To elaborate on that, all the students from engineering schools are, of course, very much welcome. But as Erwan said, you must demonstrate that there is some logic into your career path and that this program makes a lot of sense for you.
So a question regarding the reference recommendation letters, those are classical ones. Don't worry, all the information in the HEC website. So now regarding the year of professional experience, this is the other way around. If you have already professional experiences in this area, I think this program is not meant for you. There are other programs which are dedicated to professional. This is not one. This is dedicated to students just after their bachelor. So if you already have a lot of professional experience, that will not be probably the best fit for you.
Yeah, I think that the maximum number of years, some students are joining now with some years of experience, but it's what, maybe the max is 2 or 3 years of experience, not much. Because for a lot of different reasons, it's complicated then to join the program with most of the students just having a bachelor or an engineering school. Maybe a question for the reference recommendation letters. I don't remember if there are specific questions. I don't think so, but anyway, on the HEC website, you will find all the details of all what you have to propose. It's super clear, super simple.
There is a question regarding year 2. So I don't remember what was on the slide. By joining a company, do you mean doing an internship? I think...
No. We mean by just joining a company, so be part of the company. So that's the idea is with the different tracks, the 2 tracks, you will join different types of company. If you follow the entrepreneur track, either you will create your own startup or you will join a startup to develop it based on your expertise on the data science and artificial intelligence. And if you are following the manager or consultant track, either you join one of the big players in consulting, such as BCG Gamma or McKinsey Analytics, which are the Quantum Black, which are the 2 biggest data science consulting company, and quite a lot of students from DSB are joining them. They love DSB students because of their double expertise, both in business and in tech. So that's really super important. Or you can join any big company such as bank, insurance, tech companies. Quite a lot of students are going to Amazon Web Services, to Google, Facebook, all the big players on that path. So by joining, I mean just having a job in those companies.
Regarding the profile that we're looking for, I was saying that this is not meant for professional. This is especially true if you have already an experience with data. If you do not have experience with data, then I think you're perfectly welcome in our program. This is something different. Another question regarding someone who has finished a master in data analytics. Once again, depending on what you've done, and if you feel that there is not too much overlap between what you've seen and what we suggest, you are more than welcome to join us next year. That's a very good question. You will have a final thesis, research. This is a research thesis.
We call it a research paper because it's not a thesis. It's a 3 months research paper. So you choose a specific research area related to data science and or artificial intelligence. You select a tutor. And then you work on it during something like 3 months. And then at the end, you present the result during a defense. So to be honest, very few of the students of the DSB are pursuing into a PhD program. It's not that much research oriented. It's much more business oriented, focus in working in companies, helping companies, startups to develop their business thanks to data science and AI, not doing research. To be honest, I think that's we have 4 or 5 different courses on the market. I think that maybe there is 1 or 2 PhD students among those 5 or 6. So it's very few.
But there is also a selection bias in the sense that most of the students that are coming to this program, they want to apply data science to business and they are less interested in the academic aspect. So there is no competitive exam to answer this training. We judge you by your application file, plus this oral exam or this oral discussion that we're going to have if you are pre-selected. Any other question or comment? Who are the main partners you work with?
You want me to answer for the year 2 or when you answer for the year 1?
You can answer for year 2. I'm preparing the answer for year 1.
Okay, so for the year 2, the main partners is Natixis. Natixis is a big and famous insurance and bank company. It's part of the BPC group, Banque Populaire Caisse d'Épargne, so one of the biggest bank group in the world, to be honest. And we have this 3 weeks business channel beginning of January with them because there is a tripartite share that has been signed 4 years ago now with Natixis, École Polytechnique and HEC on all the subjects related to data science and banking. And so that's one of the key partners. We have also some big partnership with Capgemini that is doing some sequences during the first year, but also during the second year. And we do have partnership with, as I told, BCG Gamma, with McKinsey Analytics, and all the big players that are providing the consultants to do some of the courses. For example, today, and for 3 days, the students are at the McKinsey Analytics Rotten-Black location in Paris, in Champs-Élysées, working on a 3-day data challenge. That's something super interesting. So really, and we are also have some partnership with the smallest companies and some small consulting companies, some tech companies, and also we have strong relationship with all the big tech companies.
And this was already mentioned by Vincent, but there are data camp provided by Natixis and Capgemini during the first year, plus on no, I would say, dedicated partner, because it's the year of the foundation and less interaction with industry. Is this training accessible to students from an economic faculty? For sure, provided you've done a little math during your degree. But
and by the way, quite a lot of students are coming
coming
from this type of profile.
Question regarding whether a degree in statistical engineering and economics have a chance of being accepted into this program. For sure. I mean, it sounds like a perfect fit with what we're doing. And once again, we are judging you on who you are and what, not where you're coming from. That is,
Yeah, I think it's important to highlight the fact that it's very, very much international. More than 70 people are not French people, and even the French people have learned abroad and have been students abroad for 2, 3, at least 3 years. So it's very, very much an international program.
Once again, I mean, if you don't have a question right now, feel free to send them to the graduate admission. They will probably be able to answer them on their own, but they will forward them to us if necessary.
Scan the QR code to get different informations about that program that might help you understand more about the different outlets and the different causes. Is there anything that you would like to add, maybe Erwan and Vincent, before closing the webinar?
Besides that you are all very welcome to apply, that I'm pretty sure that if you have the will, you will be part of us next year.
And that it will be a pleasure, because it's really a super interesting program, super motivating, and students that are alumni of this program could say and do not hesitate to contact them via LinkedIn, for example. They will you will see very, very positive about this program.
I think we can brag about the ranking, but the thing which is sure that I think that the only program in 2 years with such a deep level in both domains, data science as science and data science as a tool for business.
We have one more question.
Yeah, so that's why I mean I was stressing that the fact we are interested in this dual thing, technical aspect. For sure, we want you to enjoy your stay at Polytechnique on HEC, which means that we want to be sure that you have a background which is sufficient for you to enjoy the training that we offer, which is, I would say, engineering type way of teaching during the first year. And we also want to be sure that you will enjoy the second year, where you will look at much more at application. That is, we want to be sure that what drives you somehow is applying those tools in the business world rather than studying the tools for themselves. So in the initial interview, we'll focus on both aspects.
It seems we are at the end.
Yes, I think we answered all the questions. So Erwan and Vincent, thank you so much for your presentation.
It was a pleasure.
And we hope to see you soon on campus. And once again, feel free to reach us at GD Admissions.